Hello, my name is Frank DuRoss, and I'm going to be your child's AP Environmental Science teacher this year. I'm also the girls' varsity soccer coach, and I have a game on Thursday during the high school back to school night, so I'm unable to be in school for that. So I wanted to send a message to all of you introducing myself. I wanted to record this video, which would cover the things I would talk about during back to school night so that you have that information. I apologize that I'm not there in school for this important evening, but hopefully this will provide you with the information that you need for your children. I'll start off with a little bit of background about myself. So I am a New Hartford graduate. I graduated from New Hartford High School in 1992. So we got the formal senior picture there and the less formal senior picture here. I graduated from New Hartford, and I had a strong interest in environmental science. I took ecology with Mr. Penns here at high school, and that really got me interested in pursuing environmental science as an area of study. So I went to the University of Vermont in Burlington, Vermont, where I got my Bachelor's of Science degree, my BS, in more ways than one, in environmental studies. I then wanted to continue my academic education, so I then went on to graduate school and enrolled in a master's program in environmental and forest biology at SUNY Environmental Science and Forestry in Syracuse. I was working on projects related to computer modeling of ecosystem dynamics while I was there. While I was there, I also had an opportunity to teach some sections of lab for my graduate assistantship. And I realized at that point that I really enjoyed that back and forth that comes with education, with being a teacher. And so I went on and I transferred to Syracuse University, right next door to SUNY ESF, and continued my my studies there, switching into a program of science education. And I got my my master's degree in science education from SU, and then really started teaching pretty much immediately afterwards. This is actually my 25th, the start of my 25th year here in New Hartford. I've taught for 24 years. I taught for 20 years in Perry Junior High, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. I was there for 20 years, and then the opportunity to teach AP Environmental Science came about, and I decided to make the jump and switch to the high school, and I've been here for the last 4 years. And so teaching environmental science is exactly up my interest level. This is exactly what I'm interested in. This is exactly what I studied in college and graduate school, and so this is really the perfect course for me, and I really enjoy teaching it. So I'll tell you a little bit about that course briefly. I have a lot more detail in the document that I'm going to attach to the message I send you. But overall, APES, we call it, AP Environmental Science, is meant to be equivalent to a one semester college level lab-based environmental science course. That's how the course is designed by College Board. There's a prescribed curriculum of topics to teach, and depending on students' results on AP exams, they may be able to get credit in college. The course itself is, like environmental studies, quite multidisciplinary. There are topics in earth science, there's topics in ecology, chemistry, geology, physics, economics, government. All of these areas are sort of combined to provide a holistic understanding of how the world works, how the earth works. It's the science behind it, human impacts on that, the biosphere, and then approaches to reducing human impacts on the environment. One of the reasons I love teaching this course is because it's so applicable to students' real life understanding. Students will encounter things in their lives that directly correlate to the topics we study in environmental science. It is a very, very applicable science. It's not very abstract, so it's easy to help students understand what this course means to their everyday life. It also helps them become more informed and thoughtful citizens of our planet. So the units that we study start with topics related to the basic science of ecology, talking about populations, ecology, biodiversity on Earth, earth science. And then we transition around here in the middle to how are humans using various resources from the Earth. And then we move on at the end about how humans are affecting the planet and what potential solutions can help improve our impacts on the planet. This is the breakdown of how much of the final AP exam comes from each of these topics. We get into things pretty quickly. So if we think on the overview of our course, sorry, that's the bell. In the fall semester, we meet 3 out of every 4-day cycle. And then in the second semester, we transition to just 2 days every 4-day cycle. And so what that means is we complete the majority of our content in the first semester, units 1 through 7. In the spring, we finish up units 8 and 9, and then we prepare for the AP exam. And eventually they'll take that AP exam, and then we have some time in school afterwards when we can do some different sort of fun activities. I utilize in class something that's called a flipped classroom model of instruction, which is a little different than probably most other courses your students have taken, your children have taken. And the way this works is, rather than standing in front of them in class and lecturing and providing notes, I record that in a video and I assign that for homework each night. What that does is it leaves us time in class to work on activities, to further elaborate on topics we presented in the notes, to discuss issues, to read scientific peer-reviewed journal articles, to complete lab investigations in class. And so this model is meant to help take the time we have together in class for more advanced work, for more guidance, differentiation, and leave the sort of passive part of it, listening to lectures and so forth, for at home. So the majority of the work that they have to do in class, their homework per se, is to watch these videos basically every night. It should be about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. They'll watch a video of a topic or 2 topics, and then I ask them to work on 3 topic questions, which are found on AP Classroom. These are AP style questions, which help ensure students are understanding the material that has been presented, and then the next day in class we review those questions to be sure everyone has understood the content for that topic. So this is a different type of model. I generally get really good feedback at the end of the year. It may take some getting used to, but for most students, they appreciate the fact that the passive stuff can happen on their own time at home, and then in class, where I'm here to answer questions, to guide students, can be on that more complex work that we do. So the AP exam in environmental science will take place May 13th at noon. And here's sort of how the test is set up. There's a multiple choice section that has 80 questions, and then 3 free response questions, which will be 40% of the exam. They have around 3 hours with a break in there to complete the exam. And overall, in the past, historically, students in New Hartford and this APES class have done quite well on the exam. You could see some data here from the New York State average scores compared to last year's New Hartford scores. So we've done quite well in the past with the system that we have in place. There's some information about grading in the attachment, and I'll talk about that. The vast majority of students' grades come from 2 things. The formative assessments are not part of their grade. These are things that they're doing just to increase their learning. These are watching the videos, answering questions in an AP classroom, doing some enrichment activities in class, progress checks, which help prepare them for unit tests. Their grades come from what we call summative assessments. These are graded end of unit tests. Okay? They also come from lab reports. Okay? When we do lab activities in a lab notebook, I collect and grade them on a 4-point scale. That counts as 20% of their grade. And so just one more thing to talk about, or a few things actually. I have a system that is pretty unique, I believe, in that when we have a test, a unit test, If students struggled on certain topics within that unit, then I allow them the chance to continue their learning, to continue studying, to see me for extra help, to utilize their textbook, to continue their learning. If they feel that they want, they can retake those topics they struggled on to try to improve their grades and their understanding of that topic. And if they perform better on these topic retakes after the unit test, I update their grade to reflect that new learning. This allows for students that need more time to have that extra time that they might need to refine their learning. Some students require that feedback from that summative assessment and then can improve from there. And so this allows for students to continue their learning of environmental science even after the unit test has taken place. And so there's a lot of detail to how I do this. It's all in the handout or the attachment to this document. We also do a few other things. We're currently set up eco columns. They're in the classroom. Students will be collecting data from these eco columns for several months and then looking at that data and trying to understand what's the reason behind the changes they saw in the eco columns. We do a project called the Flat Lorax Project, in which students colored a Lorax, and I laminated it for them. They take that and they have to take pictures of that Lorax in different situations that connect to the topics we're studying in a given unit. They also are required to do a monthly field experience where they're going to choose a site that they can access, and each month they'll go out that site for about a half an hour and do an assignment. Sometimes it's create a sketch of something you see, create an overhead map, listen, see what's around, talk about various topics. And so I give them some guidance about what they need to do for each of those field experiences. They're due one per month. And so we have a lot of interesting lab activities, and I think that so far it's been an excellent class. It's really been fun getting to know a new group of students. They seem like they're doing really well in class, and I look forward to having a really good year with them in APES. And so if you have any questions, if I didn't provide enough detail, if you want to just discuss something about your child further, please feel free to reach out. I'm sorry again that I'm not there at back to school night, but you can send me an email, you can call me here at school, and I'd be happy to chat with you. So thank you and have a wonderful day.